Woo!
Yeah, I missed that music.
Yeah, I know. The eagle has landed, I guess. We're a little bit late tonight, but Jacob and I, we just decided we'd blame that on Deb. But
there you go.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the world.
I'm taking one for the team tonight.
All right, everybody, welcome to Skip Happens. We've got a great show for you tonight. Great podcast. That guy right there, his name's Jacob Bryant, and he is one of those artists who's, when you hear his voice, it'll pull you into the moment. That moment you hear it, it's going to be awesome. He's got an emotional chord with every lyric. Each vocal stretch is always incredibly powerful. You can tell I'm reading this, right? Released his debut album back in 2019, Practice What I Preach. And by the way, totally blown away. And I remember when this happened, and it's when I became a fan, that it went to #1 on the iTunes chart. And everybody was getting their music off of iTunes back then, and they still do for the most part today. But, well, we're going to find out who Jacob Bryant is, both as an artist and as a person. I want y'all to say hi. He's my new friend. He's right, wait a minute. Right there. And that's Deb. Oh, by the way, that's Deb. Yeah, that's this.
We have to get, oh, wait.
Camera, dude. I know, exactly.
We'll get this Brady Bunch thing
backwards when you do it, when it's looking at you.
There you go. And that's my good friend, Deb Lamphere, everybody. You know that. She joins us on the podcast, the president and founder of the Country Music Fan Club. And let's all just say, Jacob Bryant, how are you? Welcome to the podcast, my friend.
Thank you for having me on, brother. I'm doing great. How about y'all?
We're doing really well. Had a beautiful day here in the Northeast today. I got to say, it was we hit the middle 70s today.
That's awesome. We got up there.
Yeah, we got up there, and we'll have a foot of snow this weekend. So it's the way it works. But
do not put those shovels away.
No,
that's pretty much Georgia weather too. I think old Georgia's, I guess, a little bit bipolar with its weather. So we got a little bit of that too.
Yeah, I know. Is that where you are right now? Describe. Where are you? Are you in Georgia?
Yeah, well, might as well be Tennessee or North Carolina. I can be in like Murphy, North Carolina in about 30 minutes. I'm super far northwest Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Wow, you're like right there. So you can go anywhere. You can get to Tennessee real easy.
Yeah, I mean, I lived in Nashville for 2 years, and it just, the big city thing wasn't for me just because it was, I can be in Nashville in 3 hours. So I'd rather be where I'm from and close to family and whatnot. And if I need to be up there, as long as I schedule it the night before, I can drive up. It ain't no big deal. So
3 hours is really not a bad drive at all.
No,
it gives me time to, write in my head or, work on stuff or whatever. So
listen to that voice. That voice, dude. You need to work in radio. Not only be just a superstar artist like you are, man. I tell you got that. You got it happening, man. It's just like it's like that. It's cool.
I've done some fake voiceovers that I thought maybe one of these days. I've always wanted to do the movie guy thing. That this summer coming, like do all that. Little tortilla boy.
You have a good voice for that. Yeah, that would work for you.
Starting Friday.
Yeah. You can do it, man. You can do it.
Near you. Yeah, I wish. Not like you though, brother. Not like you. But Jacob Bryant, of course, funny story. I'll tell the story really quick how I got you on here tonight was over the weekend, not like we have a whole lot to do. And I was drinking a cold one, had my feet up on the table. Don't tell my wife, but I had the television on. Yeah, I knew you were going to do that. And now you're making me thirsty. But something came, I think I was watching the CW6 or something, but they had a show from Nashville on, and they said, hey, coming up right after this, we're going to be talking with Jacob Bryant. I went, oh my God, Jacob Bryant. I said, I got to get him on the podcast because I have been a fan, to be honest with you. I've been doing the country radio thing for a long time. Your style is unique to a certain extent. How would you describe your sound as country?
It's unapologetically me, man. I mean, I've always called it country done my way because I grew up in bluegrass and gospel music, and then it went from that into alternative Christian rock. I played in a church for a little while as the praise and worship leader, and it kind of went from that into some other things after my mom had passed, and it became kind of this hybrid of like you take Keith Whitley, Travis Tritt, and Leonard Skinner and go pow, and here's the Bryant somehow, So I don't know. I mean, I just always called it country done my way. I mean, it's a rock band with a country singer. I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, it's a Southern rock band with a baritone country voice.
I kind of look at it as a Leonard Skinner and a little Brantley Gilbert kind of together.
Yeah, Brantley was a huge influence and also a friend of mine as well. He kind of, I guess, definitely is a staple in my career when I look back at the guys that I was, I guess, looking up to or trying to emulate what they were doing when I was a young artist and whatnot. So I could definitely see that for sure.
I got to tell you right off the top as well, one of my favorites is Pour Whiskey on My Grave. And I can't get enough of that song. I know it's been out for a little bit. It's been available, but I play it all the time, listen to it in the truck. I have it on. It's great. It's country, but it's Southern. It's kind of, it's exactly what you just said. It's like everything just kind of put together.
Yeah. That one hasn't even grew its legs yet. I don't think. I mean, like I said, we finally got the love we needed from Universal UK and all that stuff, and they released that as the first single in the UK, and it's #1 on Planet Rock Radio right now. And
that's amazing.
We're hoping that the US will catch up because I really do think that song has a place over here. Just like when Jamie Johnson put out like In Color, that caught everybody by surprise because it was so different. And Pour Whiskey is so different from everything that you hear on terrestrial radio right now.
Right.
So I think it's just going to take some people like you guys and just some people to get behind it, and it'll do its own thing. The song itself can do it by itself, Yeah.
Now, I know you're saying it hasn't grown its legs yet, but have you looked at your Spotify numbers?
It's doing all right.
I don't want to hear it's doing all right. It's doing freaking phenomenal. I mean, I think I'm reading this right, people. It's over 8 million hits on Spotify. Is that right?
Yeah. Spotify, yeah. And then I think
okay.
21 million or something on the video on Facebook.
Let me tell you. I think it's growing a few legs. Congratulations. That's phenomenal.
It's doing all right, Deb. It's doing all right.
Listen, the way I look at it is it ain't nothing until I can go like this and just everybody else sing it. But I don't have to sing it anymore. But no, I'm blessed, man. I don't know if you know a whole lot or Jeff even filled you in a little bit. I mean, I grew up super poor and lived in single wide trailer till June of last year.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, we were in a Prevost tour bus before I ever moved out of a trailer, So it's a super humbling thing to see these things happening, and don't think that me joking about it is not taking it seriously.
No.
I just kind of have a joking type personality. So.
You know what? We know you really appreciate it. Growing up with that kind of background, and our viewers don't even know that whole story, but that little snippet right there just goes to show how much someone like yourself really, really from the heart appreciates your listeners picking up that song into their life.
Yes, ma'am.
So I definitely can see that.
You mentioned Jamie Johnson. And I don't know if this is good to say or not, but you sound a little bit like Jamie Johnson.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of that traditional in there for sure.
I like it, man. Little Johnny Paycheck in there too, huh?
Yeah, old Paycheck, man. Have you ever watched Tales from the Tour Bus?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, I love it. The Johnny Paycheck one.
Oh my God.
He shot his, or I guess it was either him or his tour manager shot the bus driver because he didn't pull over and get him a Big Mac. He brought him some crappy cheeseburger from a pilot or something.
Oh my God, it's crazy. Crazy shit.
That's when outlaws were real outlaws.
Yeah, exactly. Got that right. What do you think of all this success in the United Kingdom, in the UK? You're not the only artist here in the mainland, in the United States, country artist that has said, they're kicking ass over there and they're struggling to get on mainstream radio here. Right. I mean, who would have ever thought that it'd be so successful there? What do you think of all that?
Man, it's kind of crazy. I mean, we got approached by a guy named Dante that is the label head at Snake Farm Records, which is a spinoff of Universal. Right. And he just loved the record, and he wanted to get behind it. And we were like, man, thank you. We didn't really think anything of it other than just like, oh, it's kind of cool. Get a little distribution deal and whatever it does, it does. We didn't expect it to do what it's doing right now. I mean, we surpassed the Foo Fighters, which is insane. me because like I'm a huge Foo Fighters fan, you know, and it's just been insane. But I think they just saw something different and raw and real and new. And I think it's got a lot to do with the fact that we've just stayed us the entire time. Like during the entire thing, I've seen a lot of artists, you know, change what they sound like or do whatever. And I'm not saying that I dislike anything on the radio, but at the end of the day, like I make the music that I like, you know, and if I can't do that, and if I can't do what I love, there's no reason for me to be doing it at all. So I just continued to be me, regardless if it sold mainstream or not. And then now it's starting to do it on its own, you know, and I think things are turning around musically as well on terrestrial radio, even here. But over there, I think it's happening a little quicker. So it was a huge surprise to me when Jeff calls me and goes, "Hey, you got the number 11 record in the whole entire UK." And I'm like, "What?" You know, and the very next day he's like, "Hey, Pour Whiskey's number 1 on Planet Rock, blah, blah, blah." It's blowing my mind. But, you know, over there, they look at what I do as rock and roll, you know. So
yeah. Well, it's in a sense, but that's a country has a lot of roots in rock and roll. When you think about it, it all goes together.
Johnny Cash used to do called rock. You know?
There you go. Yeah, bring a fire, baby. I love it. Hey, do you remember what the first concert was that you ever went to?
I do. It was Edgar Winter Band and Jack. Yeah, it was at a motorcycle rally in Cherokee, North Carolina. And the only reason I remember this is the first time I ever smelled what marijuana smelled like, because I was young. It was me and my mom. And we were sitting there, and Edgar Winter Band was opening for Jackal. And Edgar was on and whatnot. And this dude was passing this thing around. And I asked Mom, I was like, "Why does he keep handing that thing to everybody?" You know, I didn't know what it was, son. But I'll never forget that day. But that was.
Yeah. It kind of froze up here a little bit. Hopefully, there we go. There you are. You froze up there. Can you hear us?
Yeah. Y'all's screen froze too. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. We just, you know, when you freeze, you got that funny look on your face. It's like,
yep.
like that happens, you know. But it's crazy. It's crazy. That's kind of cool that you remember that. And Edgar Winter, Free Ride, stuff like that, man. It's just you know. It rocks. And when did you realize that you wanted to be who you are today? When did you realize you wanted to be that guy on the stage? Some great rock and roll country. When did all that come down?
Man, I started playing guitar at 8. Like I said before, I was playing the Bluegrass records. You know, I still to this day don't know how to read music. None of that. I just play by ear. I mean, you could hit a note and I could probably tell you what it is just because that's how I've learned. But I guess when I kind of sort of thought, okay, I might do this for a living, I guess was probably, right before Mom passed. I was probably 18 or 19. Because in high school, I was kind of the shy skateboarder kid, which a lot of people don't know. You know, I had long Keith Urban looking hair and was a skater dude, you know. But I still would come home, even though I was a skater kid and all them kids was listening to rock and roll. I'd come home, sit there and play bluegrass on my papa's guitar and stuff. But no, I would say probably around 18 or 19 years old, I got to the point where I was making money playing gigs. And, you know, there was people coming up going, "Man, you need to move to Nashville. You need to do this. You need to do that." And it kind of got to the point where I was like, all right, well, maybe they're right. I mean, I never believed in myself realistically until my mom passed away. And it was weird I failed chorus in high school because I was too shy to sing in front of anybody.
Oh wow.
And then now
Big change.
what I do for a living, so it's kind of crazy. But after Mom passed, I just kind of got this I don't give a damn mentality about me, you know, and not in a bad way, not being rude to anybody or anything like that. It was just like, hell, I'm gonna try this. Screw it.
You know, there's Deb and I have talked to so many different artists who kind of fall into that same category where they learn by listening.
Yeah.
They were very shy. They just seriously, and now look at them. Some of the biggest stars were in that category, and now they're on a stage performing in front of, well, maybe not in the last year or so, but performing in front of thousands upon thousands in the stadium shows and all that. And, they were just like you. I mean, a lot was like, oh, I can't get on stage. I can't sing. I can't do this. But you know what? They turn out to be some of our biggest stars.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I and my wife can attest to this, if I get in front of you and her and two other people, I'll be shaking like a leaf. But I can stand on stage in front of 30,000 people in a sold out arena with Brantley Gilbert opening up for him, and it's like I'm at home. It's weird.
I bet you it's because when you have a small group, all that attention is right on you. Like there's nowhere to go but right on you. And when you're in a crowd, yes, we're right on you, but we're also dancing with the person next to us and enjoying that environment. So
and passing something around.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of difference there, but that always has amazed me how someone can be so shy and in front of a small group, yet get in front of a big group of people and no problem.
It's weird how that works. I'm definitely not shy anymore. I mean, I could talk to the damn wall, but at one time I was the real timid kind of, hey, what's up? Leave me alone kind of kid, but I don't know. It just kind of, one day I woke up and said, all right, I'm just going to be me. If people don't like it, cool. If they do, cool too, whatever.
That's how you try things.
Yeah,
exactly. You have apparently met a lot of people in your career. There's no doubt. A lot of new artists, a lot of well-established artists, maybe just people in general. Is there anybody that's had such a big impact on you?
I mean, Cody Johnson being one of the bigger ones. Toured a lot with him, Co Wetzel, Luke Combs. I wrote Out There with Luke and James McNair and Ray Fulcher, and that was my first, I guess, major artist cut. And that thing's however many platinums now. So thank you to Luke for that. But there's a too many. Brantley. I mean, Brantley took us out when he didn't have to. And
right. Well, he's such a cool dude anyways, man. I'll tell you, Brantley is so down to earth. You look at him, you see the tats, you see the rings, you see everything that, the brass knuckles and all that, and you think this guy's tough as shit. But you know what? He's such a great guy and just he's so laid back. He's
cool as hell and wouldn't hurt a fly. But if you messed with him, he will whip your ass.
Well, I wouldn't want to mess with him. Okay, whatever.
I mean,
he's one of those guys that, like you said, he's as sweet as anything. But if I was walking in an alley somewhere and I saw him, I'd be scared.
Us Georgia boys, man, we kind of come across that way just because we're very protective of the people we love. But I guarantee he'd be the first one to take the shirt off his back and hand it to you. That's just
right.
Big teddy bear.
Just don't cross him. Once you cross somebody, then you're on the show. Then something's going to happen. So,
I'll not be trying that this week.
Now, Zach Brown's from Georgia as well.
Yep.
Well, that's cool. So I got to ask you, we're talking with Jacob Bryant tonight. You can see the websites on your screen there. Make sure you check it out, man. I tell you, this guy's the real deal. I'm very excited to be chatting with him here tonight. And I was talking to Deb earlier. Just can't believe he's going to be on with us. And here you are. But how about the pandemic and all this that has happened? I know we've had to take up other jobs. We've had to do different things. Even some of the well-established musicians as yourself, without that income, you need something to help pay the bills. I mean, you can write songs and maybe get a check once in a while when something gets played, but still, it's how has all that affected you?
Man, it's been crazy. I was on a construction crew before I did music full time. I mean, and that was over 12 years ago. I mean, I've pretty much done music full time for 10 or 12 years. Wow. And then when the pandemic happened, I went to work with my brother-in-law back doing construction again, man. I got to feed these babies and provide for my family, so I've just been doing that and playing music on the weekends. And then this Universal thing kind of happened, and hopefully that's, going to get me back to doing what I love to do all the time. But realistically, I think the construction thing was honestly a blessing for me because I was kind of getting a little burnt out. I mean, we were doing 150, 200 shows a year, and I wouldn't get to be home with my daughter. And it was a lot, and it really let me enjoy time watching her grow up through those detrimental times, you know, like when you need to be there again. And when I wasn't going to be able to, had it not been for the pandemic. So I've kind of, I guess, tried to look at it as a positive as much as possible. And take it in like, okay, it gave me time on my family. But yeah, I mean, everybody, including yourselves, I would imagine, have had to adjust and overcome and try to be positive during all of it. And we're still doing it. So
we're hoping that things are going to, things are starting to change a little bit. So with the vaccine and everything that's going on, so we can get back to a little bit of being normal. I don't know if it'll
little normalcy, we hope.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just I think a whole lot of it, actually. But yeah, how old is your daughter?
18 months.
Oh, God bless you, man. God bless. And this is so important that you're there. I'm sure she's up walking, running around almost at the age of 2, getting into things. Yeah, that's cool. And you also have another one on the way.
Yep, little boy, Weston Allen. He'll be here,
my friend.
Late May. That's
almost a perfect family of 1 boy, 1 girl.
Well, we want 4, but
okay.
I don't know. I don't know that we're going to have 4 back to back. We'll see. I think we're going to deal with 2 and wait 3 or 4 years, and then maybe have the other 2 later. So we'll see.
Well, I have 4, so they're 3 years apart, then 2 years, and then 3.5 years or something. So it gets to be challenging. So that's a good plan, I think, because you can enjoy those first 2, then maybe they'll start getting into school, and then you can enjoy the second 2 while the other ones are starting to form some independence.
Yeah, I want the first 2 to be able to make their own sandwiches before we.
Yeah, there you go. Potty trained. That would be a big help too.
Get Dad here when he needs one.
Naomi's being trained right now, and she, Brittany, my wife, she's very good at being way ahead of the ball game with stuff like that. So now Naomi, she'll look down and be like, she knows when she's pottied in her diaper instead of on the potty. So she's a smart kid.
What fun.
Do they?
It goes fast.
It does go fast, and they grow fast, and before you know it, they'll be making their own sandwiches. Dad's on the road, but I'm going with them.
I'll probably cry if you don't want me to help her anymore, because that girl right there, that's Daddy's baby, and unfortunately, she's a mommy's girl, so I'm always like,
I know, but
I love Daddy. Like today when Brittany, I'm off the air, we were talking about Brittany positive with COVID and whatnot, but I had to sit upstairs with Naomi and hang out with her after her bath or whatever, and her bedtime routine is usually pretty on point, and tonight kind of winged it just because Mommy wasn't around or whatever, and she just laid on me and sat there and we watched some shows together or whatever, and I was sitting there just taking it in. I about fell asleep. Brittany tried to call me, and then my Apple Watch started ringing because my phone died or whatever, but I don't know, man. It's weird how much a dad could love a daughter. It's insane.
I'm the dad of 3 beautiful daughters, and I've actually got, to believe it or not, 8 grandkids. So, and all my daughters are close together. So when one got pregnant, the other had to get pregnant, and then the other one had to get pregnant, and they did that several times over. And when one got married, the other had to get married. Well, the other one had to get married. So that went my wallet. So it was just, but
yeah, what's a wallet? What are those?
Exactly.
In one hand, out the other.
Easy come, easy go. But you know what? When you have a daughter, they'll always be daddy's girls. Always. It doesn't matter how old. My daughters obviously are older now, and still that phone call, that I love you, Dad, that, just talking. I mean, it's always, you'll always be her dad. You know what I mean? She'll always be daddy's girl. That's what I'm saying. So enjoy it now, though.
Yeah. I'm mush whenever she looks at me and just even goes, I'm like,
yeah, exactly. Let's get back to a little bit about you, about your songwriting, and what's your thought process with all that?
Man, songwriting is everything, man. It's therapy for me. I mean, there's a lot of songs like Save My Soul, or Sometimes I Pray, or there's a bunch that have been written that pretty much if it weren't for those songs, I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now. You know, I mean, Save My Soul, that song talks about like an actual thing that happened where I was, you know, sitting in the shower shaking like a leaf and going through withdrawals and DTs and all kind of stuff. And it wasn't a good time in my life, you know, and sometimes I praise about mom passing, and I don't know, man. I mean, not all the songs, of course, are the down in the dump stuff, but I really do think music saved my life. You know, I mean, it was a therapy for me, and it was an outlet where I could go to talk to somebody because I was too much of a stubborn ass to go talk to somebody. So I just talked to that pen and that paper, you know, and
it's all right.
But yeah, songwriting to me is it's just a way to, I guess, say things that you might not say to somebody eye to eye, you know, and you can put it on that paper and then that paper can talk instead of you, you know. So maybe that is that timid that's coming out in me or something like that. You know, I got to put it in a song for me to be able to say it sometimes. I don't know.
But you know what, those, and I think Deb would agree, those make the best songs.
Yeah.
You're writing about real life, and there's so many people, not just you, dude. There's so many people that have been through what you've been through and maybe done what you've done. And when they hear these songs, they can relate. And that's what our format is all about. That's what our music is all about. Artists like you writing these songs about real life experiences, and then the listeners taking it all in going, that song's about me.
Right.
That's what they think, even though, you know, it's about you and your life, but they can relate. So it's cool.
Yeah. I mean, we get messages every day about the tune that I cut that Joel Shoemaker, a good buddy of mine, wrote called This Side of Sober. You know, and everybody going through recovery and or, you know, maybe not even going through recovery, just going through a battle they're dealing with, you know, and it talks about the devil on your shoulder and it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And, you know, and that particular song, you know, it has opened up, you know, things in my mind to write, I guess, sequels to it. Like I've always called Save My Soul the sequel to This Side of Sober, because it was me finally going, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. Now I'm asking for help, you know, and it just so happened that music was my help. I didn't have to go to rehab or whatever. I just weaned myself and got my shit together, you know. But
wow, you're very fortunate.
Yeah, I'm
very fortunate.
You, I mean, there's a lot that I didn't know about. I mean, obviously being a fan of the music, but now we get to chit chat and we get to know you a little bit. Just a lot I didn't know about you, and I really respect you for what you've done, and you know what you've been writing about. And here you are tonight, and you know, a proud dad, and another one on the way, and just kicking ass with everything that you're doing, brother. That is so awesome. Very cool.
I still enjoy a cold one, but I quit drinking liquor completely. I don't mess around with any pills or drugs or any of that crap like I used to mess with either. And it's been best thing I ever did.
So many of us have been like that. So I mean, dude, you know, God bless you, because that's so cool. That's so good. So good of you.
Actually, that's a great role model of perspective from someone like yourself, trying to portray that to other young folks out there, no matter what career they're into, you know, saying that, hey, you may have had a deep time and you can get out of it and you can follow your dreams and you can be successful or whatever that is, it can happen. And, you know, when you talk about things like that, I just think it's really important for people to understand that there is a way out, no matter what level you're at.
For sure. And then also too, I mean, if anybody's watching this that is an artist, you know, you don't have to be rock star life. That ain't real. It's not. You can't live on a Prevost bus and stay effed up all the time. You know, you just can't. That's not feasible. You can't do it. It's put me in the hospital, and I've had to Uber from a hospital back to a gig before because of that crap. It's stupid. Don't do that.
We've had a couple other artists say that. It's like, that is just not, you know, you have this dream of this kind of life. And when it turns into what you were just describing, well, hey, that is not the life that we should be leading, nor did we really want to be leading. So
I mean, everybody who I guess goes after this dream, you know, you look at it and go, oh my God, I'm going to, you know, live what I've seen on the movies, you know, or whatever. And then you get out there and you do it and you're like, this is kind of
the same.
Like it ain't.
Yeah.
I'd rather grill out behind the tour bus and cook steaks and drink a Miller Lite and then go to bed and not wake up feeling like crap the next morning. Like
Absolutely.
And not saying I don't like to throw down, whatever. I mean, that's fine.
Oh, I got you, man.
But that there was a time there where it was like
all the time.
Yeah, just wake up and go and wake up and go, and it ain't worth it, man.
Good. Just keep relaying that message to all the artists and people that you come across, because it's really got to come from someone who's been there. You can't you can't explain it if you've never gone through it, and you can't express it to someone enough not having gone through it.
My next record is going to be called The Barstool Preacher, so I'm going to be relaying it a lot.
Oh yeah.
Good.
And what does lie ahead for you? You've got the record, the next record. You've got enough. Do you have enough for an album? Another album, or?
We got more than enough for probably 2. We've cut 30 sides right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we're probably going to pick 12 to 15 and release a record off of that. But we're still looking for songs and writing songs. My buddy Jamie Grooms that wrote Pour Whiskey on My Grave is actually in town right now, and we were set to write tomorrow, but the wife came down with COVID, so we're probably not going to do that. He's going to Florida for about 2 weeks, and then on his way back to Tennessee, he's going to drop in and see me. We're going to try to write some more, but yeah, I've written a lot for this record, way more so than the last one, with a buddy of mine, Wyatt McCubbin, and Carson Chamberlain, that did all the Billy Currington and Ethan Corbett.
I recognize the name,
But I mean, he played steel for Keith Whitley, which is my favorite country artist of all time.
Great.
But there's a lot of cool stuff coming, man. I'm really excited about this record in particular. And I know every artist says that every time they come out with a project.
But I get it.
But you're proud of it.
Well, this particular one, we didn't have any stress really, because the other one, we had enough time to let it do its thing and kind of let it ride, and this particular record we've been working on, we just kind of been cutting songs as they come along, and it just ended up working itself out, and then now we're dealing with this Universal thing, and we got a couple offers on the table in Nashville that we're talking. I'm not necessarily sorry. I'm cold natured. I'm like my mom. If it's 70 degrees in the house, I'm gonna have a dang.
I have a blanket on too. Don't feel so bad.
But yeah, I'm not necessarily putting all my eggs in any basket at this point, man. I'm super excited about some of the conversations we're getting to have, and God's good. That's all I can say, man.
Absolutely, God is good. God is good. When will you be heading back to Nashville?
I've just got back. We were there. Let's see, last Friday. I was up there. I cut 4 songs, vocals for 4 songs that we had already tracked. I'm also doing 2 songs with 2 other artists where I'm basically a feature on their track.
That's cool.
A guy named Tyson Lehman that my manager is releasing a track on that's going to be pretty cool. It's called High Road. That's a really cool record. He's kind of got that like Stapleton gospel soul kind of thing going on.
Yep.
And then the other one is with a guy named Cody Purvis. His is called From a Small Town. It's basically just talking about being from a small town or whatever. It's a good old party anthem, almost like Hillbilly Bone, Trace Atkins, Blake Shelton, or something like that. But yeah, we cut those 2, and then I actually cut another song by a guy that I referenced earlier that wrote This Side of Sober, Joel Shoemake. He wrote a song called Bird in a Cage, and the lyric to it is, a bird in a cage don't sing, they cry, and it's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy, so I cut that one. And then another tune called Amen. It's the first Christian song I've ever put on any of my records. So I'm releasing one Christian song on this album as well.
That's nice. The Christian side of country is really coming to the front now. Zach Williams.
We need it more than ever right now in the whole country.
Agree.
No kidding. No kidding. Absolutely. Right now. Absolutely. And it's a good thing that that's happening. And I think people are digging it too. People are getting into it. It all comes together. And you're right. That's what we need right now. When you go to Nashville, where do you hang out?
I don't really go downtown or anything like that anymore. I mean, back in the day, I used to go to Losers and stuff like that and hang out with Brent Cobb and Blue and some of them guys. But pretty much just hang out with my producer and my writer buddies, man. I'm Jesse Triplett, the lead guitar player for the rock band Collective Soul, is my producer.
Oh, very cool.
Hang out with him and some of my buddies, Jesse Keith Whitley's son, one of my good buddies. I hang out with him a lot. And that's pretty much it, man. I got a pretty tight-knit group that
and that's probably a good thing. It's probably a good thing you guys kind of just hang together and really not just everybody just do whatever they want. You guys hang together. I know we go to Nashville. I've been and usually hit up the station in places like that.
I like the station in for sure. You actually get to hear some bluegrass music.
Yeah. And that's where I first many years ago now, when Dirk Bentley was with Capitol and the label rep, they took us up to the station inn, and that's where I got hooked on the place. And Dirks was playing, and that's when he was doing his bluegrass stuff.
Dirks was my second concert. Speaking of
really, look at you, man.
I used to love, what was the tune on? It was like, I think it was either his first or second record where he's talking about having a Johnny Cash box set and all. What is it? In the cab of my truck. Yeah.
I'd have to, and there's been so many, but
I love Dirks, man. I love Dirks.
He's such a great. Yep. And he used to drive this beat up pickup truck.
We have matching trucks. I have a 93 step side white Chevrolet identical.
Love it, dude. That is so awesome.
My dad fell asleep with his foot on the gas and blew it up, so it's broke down. But I do have a matching truck. Eventually, I'm gonna tell Dirks about that one of these days when I get to open for him or something. But
that's cool. When I first met Dirks, of course, my wife was with me, and that was God knows how many years ago now. But when he comes through, if they're doing a show now, obviously it hasn't happened in the last year or so. But when they come through, and every time we see Dirks, he remembers who you are. It's like, hey, Skip, how's I have a son, Zach. How's Zach? Hey, Nance, how are you? And it's my wife, obviously. So it's like they never forget. They never forget.
That's awesome, man. That
is awesome.
And at the end of the day, like we should, because if it wasn't for you guys,
it works both ways, and we tell everybody that. For me, it works both ways.
I have a lot of friends in radio that didn't have to take a chance on me. We did the whole medium market, whatever kind of push, and we did all right, and as well as the medium market thing doesn't necessarily blow you up or anything like that, but it's just something to add to your milestones as you go,
Nowadays we talk about radio, though. I can tell you that I don't know how much market really makes a difference anymore. Everything's online. We got social media. The stations are broadcasting online. We have so much going. I mean, we could play a Jacob Bryant song, and it's not just our listeners hearing it. We got people listening online all over the place. So it doesn't matter. I don't know if market or market size anymore really makes a big difference, to be totally honest with you. Because
the wattage of the station and all that crap.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy like that, but that's what I think. But it's been cool chatting with you here tonight and getting to know you a little bit.
I appreciate y'all for having me, man. Anything that I can do, or anytime you want to talk, man, just holler. And I apologize for my latency here, but
that was Deb's fault.
Remember, I took one for the team tonight. Remember that.
I took one for the team tonight. So you weren't. We were just waiting on Deb. We couldn't go on until Deb showed up. So that's all. No, just kidding.
And I still had a bad hair day after all that effort.
I do appreciate you joining us, and it means more than ever because you did go out of your way to do this for us tonight. And just knowing what your day was like, when I was talking to Jeff, when we were texting earlier, just like, oh my God, tell him he doesn't have to come on with us. Tell him, you have other things going on in your life, dude. You got a daughter you had to put to bed. You got a wife that was just, with COVID. Hopefully all that's going to be okay. 6 months pregnant. So we're praying. But for you to do this, you just went out of your way Just went out of your way.
No, man. And like I said before we ever came on air, if I tell you I'm going to do something, I'll be there always.
You know, we love you.
That's the way I was raised.
So if I was to walk into your kitchen right now and open up the refrigerator, what would I find?
Probably a lot of leftovers. My wife is mad that I didn't eat. but no, I mean, let's see, a lot of eggs, a lot of organic vegetables. We actually eat pretty good.
Okay.
I grill pretty much every night. Big thank you to Rec Tech Grills. They actually sent me a RT 700 pellet smoker, and it you literally walk up and go beep and hit a button, and you just turn it to what degrees you want. It's basically like a wood oven.
That is awesome.
With indirect heat or whatever. So you can do burgers, turn it all the way up, get it hot as crap. You can do steak, you can do pork butts or whatever. But man, that thing is come in handy during this pandemic, man. You just grab some chicken or brats and burgers or whatever you want to do and just chuck it on there. But we do a lot of broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini, squash, salads, chicken.
Yeah, no, we're right there with you. My son is big into broccoli and cauliflower and all that stuff. So pretty much in chicken, all different kinds of chicken, this, chicken, that. I mean, it's like that's every night in our house. So
if it was up to me, I'd eat ramen noodles and steak. But the old lady tries to keep me a little healthier than that.
Yeah, I know. I used to. You see
what my shirt says. So I guess I'm the devil and she's the angel. Maybe, I don't know.
There you go.
Nothing wrong.
Hey, it checks and balances. It all works out.
Right, and that's what makes it all work. You're right. Absolutely.
Dang, right.
Yeah. How much Miller do you have in your fridge right now?
None.
Right.
No, the old lady don't let me keep Miller in the house. She bought me a kegerator, and it sits on our back deck, and I don't have a keg in it, so I just put my 30 packs in there, and I just walk out on the back deck and get them. But
nice.
That's cool.
But no, I don't have any in the fridge. Actually, it's kind of weird. You're making my manhood go downhill right now.
Don't ask him any more questions.
Yeah, no. How about your do you have a room in the house that you can go and you write your music or you can record or do you have anything like that?
Yes, finally, I have a basement. Like I said, I grew up in a single wide, so I never had nowhere to go other than the living room, And now, I got my basement down there. It's got a bathroom in it. I can go down there and just chill. I got my old couches that we had at the single wide that have dog hair all over them, and they're nasty, but I love them. Mm-hmm. So I go down there and write and kind of chill out and have a good time.
I know it's like this is my man cave, and I have what we call a pod zone, and I have a voiceover studio on the other side. And early on in the pandemic, of course, I had to do some of my radio stuff from over there. But I love having my own room where I can just come down here, sit and talk to people like you. Deb and I have our conversations, and everybody else is upstairs watching television, doing what they normally do during the evening hours. So,
speaking of, is that a SM7B?
You bet your ass it is.
That's the best microphone they ever made.
Yep. I have 2 SM7Bs and I got 2 Stealth Astons. I have a total of 4 mics at this table, which is pretty cool. I also use what they call a Rodecaster Pro for the podcast. I don't know if you look it up, it's pretty cool stuff. So, I mean, that's how I can, I hit a button and the music plays and I can stop. Right. Or if I go, ladies and gentlemen, it's Jacob Bryant. So, or do this like, shouldn't have said that. No, but so it's kind of cool. It's a great unit for anybody that's doing any type of podcasting. And there's a free plug right there, but it's pretty cool. Yeah. The Shure SM7B, going back to what you said in the beginning, you can't beat these mics. You cannot.
I actually cut all the vocals on my song Whiskey Down the Drain. I actually cut my final vocals on one of those, and it was supposed to be the rough vocal, and the producer liked it so much we ended up releasing it because it was that. But most of the time I use a U87. I actually cut on the same microphone that Boot Scoot and Boogie and Fancy was cut on by Reba.
Yeah.
We rent that mic, but
oh my God, you're talking $3,000, $4,000, maybe even $5,000 depending on So,
I don't know about buying it. We only pay like $150 to rent it for the day. But
there you go. That's all you need.
but no, you're right. With the Shure SM7Bs, though, they're well worth every penny. I have 2 of those. They go for almost $500 each. But
yeah, I love them though because they don't take away that warmth in the bottom. You know, a lot of mics that you only get that real crispy kind of clear thing. Those give you the warmth. You know that I guess people with baritone voices like you and I that you need, especially for radio. But you know, whenever I can't barely see it on my screen, but I was like, I think that's a SM7B. I can't tell.
Yeah, that is to bring it up a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what it is. So it's cool. And you know, you're right. With the low end, you want that. I mean, you want the low end, and we get it. So when I do my movie stuff,
there you go.
Now showing. But anyways, you can do it, dude. See, you know, you could be doing your construction until you get back out on the road, and you could be doing voiceover.
If you ever need anybody to do a commercial, just holler. I'm here.
I'll send it out to you. That'd be cool. Deb, you got any questions before we let Jacob go here tonight?
I always have a few fun questions. We throw a few fun things.
This is Deb.
End of the show.
I just sit back and watch.
So what's your funniest movie of all time? Your favorite funny movie?
God. You're probably going to laugh at me because it's very corny. A Night at the Roxbury.
I don't think I kind of think I've heard of that, but I don't think I know it. Skip probably has.
It's yes.
Oh gosh, yeah.
What is it?
It's either that. I like Dumb Peter. So it's either that one or like Napoleon Dynamite, which my mom.
That one I've seen. My kids love all that stupid comedy stuff.
My mom's like, really? But I mean, Step Brothers, of course, is a great one.
Yeah.
Much more movies.
Yeah.
I love it.
I haven't seen that one in a while. Let's see. What's the most useless thing you ever learned in school?
All of it.
Just being honest.
No, I mean, most useless thing. I don't know. I mean, it's all good. Probably algebra, because at the end of the day, even doing construction, there's a lot of math and stuff. I mean, you're not really messing with any of those types of equation numbers or whatever. I mean,
we got into this conversation at work about all the topics in school that they make you learn that you'll just never need.
Nowadays, you can't even do just basic math. You know, they got to do it some backwards way.
Yeah.
It's
crazy. What are you talking about?
They need more trades in school, man. I mean, you need to be able to come out of school with something, you know, real world. But yeah, I would say probably algebra is the most useless thing. I mean, I did it and hated it and still don't use it. So
I'm right there with you. Radio.
We had a conversation about cursive today in our office. Like my kid, they don't even teach cursive anymore. My oldest has beautiful handwriting, cursive, the whole 9 yards. And as each one of my kids went through school, it got worse and worse and worse. They can like barely, their signatures are awful. They don't even, because they can't even, because everything was all done on the computer. So they never had to write anything.
Right.
So that ended up, I don't even know if you really need to use cursive anymore, but.
What kind of construction are you doing currently? Are you doing sheetrock, building? What are you doing?
Dude, it's a little bit of everything. We do anything from full ground to done full builds to basement remodels. We just did a full blown man cave for a guy, put rough cut lumber on the walls and patina.
And all your fingers.
Do what?
And you have all your fingers. Yeah. Okay.
I got all 7 of them.
I love it.
So when I buy my fixer upper in Nashville, I'll be calling you.
Holler at us. We'll handle it.
On your off days, you can come and do some construction.
Either I'll handle it or my Uncle Diamond will, one of the two.
See, Jacob, that window in over there.
Right, we can handle it.
What else?
Let's see. What do I wish I could predict the most? If you could predict something.
What do I wish I could predict? People being good to each other again.
That would be a good one.
It would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
That and leaving religion and politics out of people being friends. nice to each other, because at the end of the day, I mean, we're all human beings, you know. I mean, I'm tired of all the hate, man. It just sucks.
You know, I got to tell you, I think I've probably everybody's got their own beliefs, and I get that, and I respect that. But a lot of I know a lot of people that have actually lost friends over everything that's been going on here in the United States. It's just, your opinion is okay. You're entitled for your opinion, but
absolutely,
your beliefs on somebody else. Let them think whatever they want to think.
Right.
You know, I mean,
right. Like, we should be able to have a conversation and share, like we do. Skip and I do. We both have different opinions on things, and we share those thoughts. But
full of shit, and then we. So other than that,
but but you should be able to do that with your friends.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. Yeah, I guess if I could predict something, I would hope to predict that, the world just ends up being a little better than it is right now. That would be all I'd hope to predict.
I love that.
Especially for in the new boy, little boy.
Especially for those babies.
I don't want my kids to grow up in a world where you have to be right or have to be left or have to be black.
Right.
Now it's not okay to be white. It's not okay to be black. It's not okay to be a Republican. It's not okay to be a Democrat. And I remember a time where, like my grandpa and all them, they wouldn't even tell you who they voted for. And then now it's just everybody gets pissed off if you don't do what they think is correct. And I try to leave religion and politics out of my career.
And you should, all of us. And let's just go on, because you're providing great music. We've got the radio station. We got people like Deb that's got a great organization that, works together with people like yourself as an artist. And we just make it work. Deb, one more question or no?
Yeah, I got one more. What country would you most like to visit when you get back out in the world?
I know where he wants to go.
The UK.
Exactly. Don't blame him. Get over
I've never been over the pond. I've already been to Mexico. I've been to Canada. I've been to Brazil. I actually got to play Brahma Valley Fest in Sao Paulo, Brazil, with my buddy that is in the duo down there, Fernando Sorocaba. They're like the Garth Brooks of Brazil, the biggest country artist in the entire country. But I got to play with them, and that was amazing. But definitely the UK, and then I guess my second one would be Australia.
Yeah. I kind of have that on my bucket list to do someday in my life. It's just that whole travel thing that's going to be a pain, but I really think I would like to try that. So
it's like 2 days. It'll take you 2 days to get to Australia.
It does. 2 days there, 2 days back.
Yeah, that one's going to be a little bit of a bummer as far as the travel part, but I'm more worried about getting the COVID vaccine going to the UK.
Yeah.
Are they offering you the vaccine where you are now, or?
No, I mean, I've never had the flu vaccine, and I've never had the flu, so I'm kind of like a little bit scared to get it.
I get it.
But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I'm not the anti-vaxxer by any means, but I'm also not wanting to put it in my body if I don't have to either. So
it's not broke, don't fix it. That's my thought. I'm struggling with the same thing.
I've got one shot already. I'm waiting for my second here on the 21st. So
yeah, I'm not convinced yet. I just don't think there's been enough testing and everything with it. My wife's cousin got it, the vaccine, and she had worked in the ICU with people with COVID or whatnot the entire pandemic and never got it. And then she got the vaccine, and then she got COVID. So it scares the crap out of me to get it. But I don't know.
So how do you feel now that your wife's tested positive? Are you feeling like this could change your mind a little bit?
I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty set in my ways.
Yeah. Well, I guess it'll matter too if you catch it or not. Because
I mean, I think I already had it. To be honest with you, I think I had it back in March. But gotcha. I don't know. I mean, I'm not opposed to any of it. I just it's one of them things. I've got my concerns, just like everybody. I mean,
absolutely.
It's just so weird, man. We don't know what to believe or think or whatever.
I know what we need to believe in. Jacob Bryant music. Believe it. All right. There's nothing better right now that'll solve everything. It'll solve the world problems. It'll make us feel good. We'll all be friends again when we listen to it.
If only you were right.
We can all relate to it. Jacob, of course, I've got your website on our screen there, but somebody goes to the website, what are they going to find?
Man, a little bit of everything. We got merchandise, show dates. We do a weekly newsletter if you sign up for the fan club.
Is there a name for your fan club?
Do what? Say that again.
Do you have a name for your fan club?
It's just Jacob Bryant Fan Club.
Well, keeping it simple. Okay.
Well, we tried to come up with one, and everything I came up with was super corny. So I was like, screw it. We'll just call it Jacob Bryant Fan Club.
That works.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? Jacob, you're awesome, my friend, and God bless you. I know you, as we mentioned before, you've had a tough day today and a lot on your mind, I'm sure, with everything that's going on. And it's just, I don't even know what to say about that because you're a strong guy. And your music is phenomenal, though. And like I said, I've been a fan for a little bit. And hopefully after tonight or after people or viewers and listeners listen and view this, that you're going to have some more fans. And we're going to get your music on some of the mainstream radio here as well. I know we can hear it. I believe we can hear it on satellite. But we need to get it on mainstream. So as well. And I mean, if we can do the Brantley Gilbert and we can do those other artists, we can sure as hell do Jacob Bryant. So
hey man, throw it out there, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Be one of the first.
Well, you never know. You never know. Chances are.
If you put somebody like me on the radio and you put it in regular rotation, it pops up in all those things that every one of you PDs can see, and then somebody else will go, hey man, why is this guy doing this? And then all of a sudden it goes.
Yeah, but
that's
dude, before we let you go, you've already got a name for yourself. You're making it happen. You've got a #1 song on the other side of the pond. This is just unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Who did we interview just a couple of weeks ago? In Canada, Lonely Drum, Aaron Goodvin. He's kicking it. In Canada, he had, a #1 song.
Yep.
Now he's trying to make it work here in the United States. So. Jacob, again, thank you for joining us here on Skip Happens tonight. Dude, you're awesome. It's such a great hookup. Thank you to your manager, Jeff. He was great texting me. The guy is wonderful.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man.
Yeah, definitely. And, of course, Deb with the Country Music Fan Club. Make sure you check out the Facebook page, the official CMFC. There you go. And like
the official CMFC.
We have Skip Happens on YouTube. Make sure you give us a like. And, of course, most importantly, you check out that guy right there, Jacob Bryant. Jacob, hang on when we sign off here tonight. And thank you so much for joining us.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.